Good evening, Auburn fans. I'm Miles Barano. I'm here with Brandon Marcello and Michael Neislick. We're with Auburn 24/7 Sports at auburnundercover.com. We just got out of a press conference tonight with players. We thought we were getting the defensive and offensive coordinator, but no one showed up. So we did talk to 3 players, and what do you guys think about what they had to say?
We're just going to mine.
Auburn played Missouri on Saturday night.
They did.
And they won. That's what we learned.
Yeah, we
Good
didn't get
effort.
the coordinators tonight.
Good effort.
The poor players had to come out and talk to us, and they're like...
One player who didn't even play.
Yeah, they're just like, we have nothing to tell you. We just played a game. I just got out of practice.
Brady Smith hasn't watched film on Mississippi State, so he couldn't say anything about them.
And no one's watched film. So... the biggest thing tonight was linebacker Trey Williams, who did not play last night because of a right shoulder injury that he's been dealing with
Is that in his upper
a couple
body?
weeks. It's his upper body. He re-aggravated it against Mercer late in that game. You saw him coming off the field. And set out the Missouri game. He said it was coach's decision. My guess is, based off Gus Malzahn and the way he's handled things, he would not have him go out and speak to the media this week if he wasn't going to play this upcoming game.
Normally they don't
State.
make injured players available right off the injury either.
So who knows? But that's the biggest thing. It sounds like he's going to play this week, even though he wasn't even definitive on it. He said it was going to be the coach's decision. But, I mean, come on. Certainly it looks like he's going to return for the Mississippi State game. But outside that, we didn't really learn a lot tonight. We spoke to Austin Golson and Braden Smith, 2 offensive linemen. Austin Golson talked about playing some left tackle last night, late in that game, in their Rebel package. People don't want to see my face.
You're just
over
like
here.
talking off camera. This is
over here. I'm going to narrate this.
That's good.
And at that moment, Mike Neislick realized, what am I doing with my life?
That's right. As Gus. What do you give that? Oh, yeah, I got nothing.
You want to talk?
So how you said they couldn't do the point spread? Yeah, we were wrong about that. Were you wrong about that, or was I just wrong about that? Or were we both wrong about that?
What was
them
it?
covering? Did you have them covering?
I think I had the final as 35-21. So
no.
Yeah,
we were both wrong. We'll admit it. The offense. I mean, look, that Missouri team was the pits, man, and that crowd. That was not a home crowd. That was like 15 fans. I mean, there weren't more Auburn fans, but I mean,
it felt
Auburn,
like it.
Auburn, the noise that Auburn fans made rivaled the loudest Missouri fans got. So, yeah, 2 fat guys with beards.
James St. Patrick gets on here every one.
That's true.
We need to title the show that.
That's true.
Anyway, biggest takeaways from the game, Mike. My biggest takeaway was that Auburn kicked their ass.
Hey, that's a swear word.
Not really.
$1 in the jar.
Tag this explicit. No, I mean, Mizzou is a very horribly coached team. They've got talent.
That was interesting. Barry Odom's rant. If you haven't watched it, if you haven't watched Barry Odom's rant after the game, go to auburnundercover.com. We have a video of it.
Who's Barry Odom?
The Missouri head coach for now, as of this moment. They have a bye week, so that could change, I suppose. But he had a pretty good rants. After wouldn't you say that was pretty good?
Yeah, he
talked about the dark days he's been through.
Yeah, he said, "Get your pencils out." He had some things to say. I thought they were about to take the SAT, but I guess not. He just had to rant. But that was the most interesting thing after the game last night. I mean, Auburn executed pretty much perfectly throughout the night. Starting defense only allowed 1 touchdown. The backups allowed a touchdown late against Mizzou's starters. Auburn's offense scored 5 times in the red zone, all of them from Kerryon Johnson. Every time they went in the red zone, they scored a touchdown. Deep passes, they're finally here. And I'll say this, Jarrett Stidham was on target all night. Even like some of his incomplete passes were on target. One that stands out was the throw to Sal Cannella where he put his hands up to do the YMCA, I guess, and the ball went through his hands. But Stidham was on target. No sacks. He didn't get sacks. He rushed for 35 yards, picked up a crucial first down, a 13-yard gain. Stidham's picking things up. He's doing very well. Listen, Mizzou is not great, but the one good thing that Mizzou was doing this season was getting tackles for loss and sacking the quarterback. They were near the top of the SEC Auburn only allowed, I think, 3 or 4 TFLs. Kerryon Johnson, who's injured, did not get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. And Auburn was owning the trenches on both sides. So that's exactly what you want to do. That's how Gus Malzahn, how any team wins football games. But listen, Auburn is doing what you're accustomed to seeing when they have good quarterback play and good running backs. Question is, can they get their 2 running backs, Kerryon Johnson and Cameron Petway, healthy? Even Kerryon Johnson wasn't 100% healthy with the hamstring issue last night, but still played. Had 48 yards and 5 touchdowns, as we said. And then Cameron Petway did not play as he injured his ankle. Not sure if it's related to the heel or something along those lines, and they're just saying it's an ankle, but I can't get any answers on that. Either way,
you got an answer that it was the ankle?
They didn't. Ankle.
They didn't say because Gus didn't say.
I was told it was ankle, but I try to figure out if.
But that could be smoke screens for the heel injury that they refused to admit.
Yes. So, but because they're saying he got injured last week, but there's some complications there. Gus Malzahn got kind of testy when he was asked about it last night.
Keith, keep it clean.
What did Keith say?
Yeah, we
doesn't
have
need to be repeated.
little ears listening.
Yeah,
somebody's 7-year-old is watching. So.
Yeah, there are little kids watching this.
Yeah.
These guys need to keep it clean. So what we got going on the Facebooks?
On the Facebooks. How y'all doing on the Facebooks? They're all just talking to me.
They're talking to you. I did see people are upset saying, let Miles talk, let Miles have the mic.
I'm just the mediator, guys. Well, I have a question.
We fight. We might fight a lot.
Do you guys think that we would have been as successful without Kerryon? I mean, do you think we would have even gotten the W without Kerryon?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they considered putting Mike in at running back, and Auburn would have still won by like 25. No, I think they actually may have done just about the same because Cam Martin was, man, he looked like a healthy running back. Kerryon Johnson was a bit slow just because of that hamstring.
Well, Kerryon talked about the Wildcat and really kind of the effectiveness of it. But it was interesting. He had 18 carries, I think it was, and Cam Martin had 9. I was surprised they used him as much as they did, especially when they went up early. 5 touchdowns is nice. I don't think he needed the stats, but I think he needs to get healthy. My concern, or what I was going to ask Chip today, was that how do you get these 2 guys healthy at the same time if each week you're going to one and putting all the carries on them, or most of the carries. I know Cam Martin played this game, but 9 carries, didn't play the first quarter. And Kerryon, if you go back and watch some of those hits he was taking hits right on that hamstring. And, he talked about how he'll feel it today, but he was kind of optimistic and said he's going to attack rehab and keep doing things the right way. But at the same time, it's like where, you get in a situation with Petway last week, 34 carries, and even if it's not the heel, did it contribute? Because he's favoring the other ankle, or how do those things work? And a lot of these things with the hamstring and with Petway's plantar fasciitis requires rest. And so, I know they're going to be light on practice, but how do you get those guys healthy if you're going to have to rely on one kind of back and forth each week? I don't know why they didn't kind of go to Cam Martin against Mercer and try to get them both healthy. It would have made a lot of sense. And even last night, why not put Kerryon on the bench after 10 carries? They were going to win that game. So I think that's a big concern going forward because you need both of them at some point. You're going to. You can't just rely on one. I mean, I know this backfield's talented, but the potential of it is so much greater than what they've shown this year. And, I mean, the numbers got kind of skewed last night with some of the big carries, but, I mean, it wasn't, Kerryon's numbers, with the 5 touchdowns, not normally, he's not long of 7 yards. I mean, he doesn't usually do that. He's usually going to be a guy that can break long runs. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think they just play Kerryon because they're at Mizzou, they're close to Kansas, and of course Kansas saying "Carry on, my wayward son," and they wanted to get Kerryon Johnson
I was like,
out there.
Braden's from Kansas, from that area, not Kerryon. So
no, the coaching staff seems just focused on the idea that the only way to win close games is with either Cameron Petway or Kerryon Johnson on the field. And they said that for the Mercer game. That goes close game. They're like, let's ride Cameron Petway to the end. And then he gets injured, and they don't want to talk about it. They're acting like he didn't get injured in that game. So they both, Kerryon Johnson and Cameron Petway, have not been healthy at the same time since right at kickoff of the Mississippi State game last season on the road. Because that was the game Kerryon Johnson went down, and then Cameron Petway came in healthy, and
they weren't healthy the rest of the season.
They weren't healthy the rest of the season. Together at the same time. So it's been nearly a year since they've both been healthy at the same time in a football season, at least. It's very strange, but we'll see what's going on in the future. They got to get them both healthy. If they're both healthy,
but the stretch
to
do it in. The stretch to have done it in was against Mercer
and
Missouri. And now you kind of look, you can't rest them against Mississippi State. Ole Miss, maybe you can pull back a little bit. They're not as good. But at LSU, that's not going to be a place where you kind of get much rest. So it's a fascinating situation to me just because I don't know how they get these guys healthy now when you're in the middle of the SEC schedule. So any good Facebook stuff?
Facebook stuff.
Saw some questions about Malik Willis. How do you guys think he played in the game?
Coaches probably told him to not be so aggressive on some of those runs at the end of them. They've got 2 scholarship quarterbacks now, and he's got to recognize as much as he wants to be a gamer. And he got his helmet ripped off that one play and really stood tall. But some of that stuff, he gets a concussion or he gets an ankle injury. It's not good for this program because you're one step away from having a walk-on as your starting quarterback. So I think that's probably the big takeaway. Played well, looked confident out there. You could see kind of what they talked about, him being ready for that opportunity. But some of those kind of hits he took were probably scary.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing for me is just seeing that he went out there and he looked confident. He was willing to kind of walk out there and just run the ball and take a hit. Yeah. And as you said, very first play, I mean, he literally got his head ripped off.
2 hands on the helmet. The guy ripped his head.
The guy was Missouri defender was angry, and Malik Willis popped right back up. I think Malik Willis is going to contend for a starting job whenever the Jarrett Stidham era ends here at Auburn, and that's including if Auburn gets Justin Fields or one of these other big-time guys. I think Woody Barrett's that good, and like we all know. Excuse me.
Woody Barrett.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What is going on?
You can tell I haven't slept today.
Whoa, Woody Barrett.
Traveling.
The Woody Barrett is on.
Malik Willis.
How is that a slip of the tongue?
You ever just talk and you're just speaking and you're not listening to what you're saying? Sorry, guys.
I think Woody Barrett's going to do great this year.
Yeah, did y'all just land?
Copia Lincoln Community College? I know they won a couple of games.
Yeah. So, anyway, Malik Willis, he'll contend for a starting job if he sticks around and does everything he needs to. He's a dynamic guy that's – we saw the speed last night. That guy's quick as heck. And I love his arm. I'm thinking about proposing to it.
Well, on that note, Georgia was looking really good this weekend.
Yeah.
How do you guys think we're going to hold up against them?
They can't overlook a game now because they got the loss to Clemson, so they're in a tough spot. Georgia made Mississippi State look bad, so that kind of makes this Mississippi State game confusing because they looked, LSU obviously not as good, but how good that Mississippi State program is at this point, interesting to see on Saturday. No sound. Is that true?
It shouldn't be.
Did that fall off?
Let me check.
It's not even plugged in.
Oh my god. How long has that been going on?
The whole time.
Well, no, but there's sound because people could hear it. But
this is probably better. You guys heard us the entire time. We were holding a toy microphone.
Look, it was a long trip to Missouri.
I don't know what's happening.
I didn't set up this though, so
I feel like I'm on a zombie show. Let's talk about Woody Barrett. What? What were we talking about? What were we talking about, Miles?
Georgia.
That's gonna be good.
Georgia's good at football this year.
They can't afford to lose to Georgia. That's the deal.
That freshman quarterback. Yeah, that's the deal. Signed, sealed, delivered. That freshman quarterback's pretty good. They got a quarterback controversy going on now.
That'll be interesting to see how they
Jake Eason, when he comes back, would be interesting. Mississippi State, I don't know how to read them now. I don't. I mean, LSU, I thought was going to be overrated all along, but they're a little bit worse than I thought they were going to be.
But the extremes is what's kind of.
Well, I understand that, but it was also on the road at Georgia, and for some reason, whenever West teams go and play at Georgia, they look like crap. Just ask Auburn.
The sound is worse now.
The sound is. Stop it, everybody. Leave me alone. I'm tired.
They really hate on the microphone.
Unplug the mic. You're too loud. Are we too loud?
Here we go.
semblance.
Better?
Is that better?
Turn off the handheld mic. It was better without it.
I love you guys. Is this better? This is better. Go back to the way.
Go back to the way it was.
Go back. We don't like change.
This is not our best Facebook Live.
This is the worst. There was no problem before. How's this? What's happening? What? Sound was better with the toy mic. Anyway, I don't know. Listen, I don't think Mississippi State's bad.
Like a whole sound check day or something.
I don't think Mississippi State's bad. It's just, I just think that it's just a situation where they're going to be up and down depending on if they go. Stop it. All right. Let's try to be serious for once in this.
Get your stuff together.
We're losing viewers. I don't know. I don't know how to read this Mississippi State game. Auburn's a 10-point favorite, according to Vegas.
So they can hear everybody without the mic. Why don't we just take the mic off? The people are saying no mic.
Well, they don't want to hear you talk.
What's my job?
I mean, listen. So, hey, thanks, Lyle. I love you. You want to go on a date? I need to sleep. Mississippi State. I think Auburn's going to be Mississippi State. The problem is Nick Fitzgerald. He's a dual threat guy, and things happen when that happens.
They can do some stuff.
Yeah, anything?
No, I mean, they're just.
Facebook? Miles?
Got another vote for unplugging the mic. Let's discuss injuries. Trey Williams will probably be back. Javaris Davis, no update. Petway, unclear. We don't know if it's really a new injury or if it's just the heel injury kind of flaring up. Because with the thing he has, I am high. I am high for sure. No. That's funny, though. Yeah, Petway, I think, is going to be just a week-to-week thing, basically, for the rest of the deal, unless he sits out an extended period of time. And if it's a new injury, I don't think that's good at all. So, but they've been so vague about it, I don't think we're going to get any kind of confirmation officially one way or the other.
What's up with the punter situation?
They stuck. They're stuck with what they got with Ian Shannon. I mean, he kind of did his job last night. He got a punt inside the 20. I mean, no one's returning punts right now, but there's still some inconsistency there.
There's always a glare. It's this.
It's this head. If I had hair, everything would be okay. No, it was interesting. Gus Malzahn was like almost threatening Ian Shannon and going, Daniel Carlson's going to be up for the job this week, and then like 2 days later,
they don't want to give him the job.
Nah, they don't want to put pressure on Daniel Carlson because Daniel Carlson made some kicks this week, 250-yarders, and he had been struggling. For some reason, he misses his kicks at home and then makes all of them away from home. Very weird right now. But I think they're just going to stick with Ian Shannon unless he gets terrible and allows a couple of big kick return or punt returns and one goes for a touchdown or something. I think right now they'll stick with Ian Shannon.
The best punter on the field, and probably the best player for Missouri, was their punter, and he's going to be in the NFL, I would assume, next year. Pretty good. Other than that, I don't.
Drew Lock was their best player.
No, that punter was pretty good.
Stop it.
That punter was pretty good.
Drew Lock.
That punter was pretty good.
Brandon, can you punt?
No.
If he lifts his leg off the ground too high, he falls over.
I'm like, what?
He's like a roly-poly. He's like a roly-poly.
Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah.
Poor balance, apparently.
I used to be able to throw a football
I don't think something hanging from my
very
nose.
long.
I don't think so.
They're complaining about you rubbing your nose.
I know, I touched my nose once.
That's why everybody thinks you're
And
high.
it was like a pandemonium in the comments. Got allergies, got a cold, sinus infection. I'm playing through it.
I hope no one heard that.
Oh,
You're
Michael,
just
someone noticed that you don't have your glasses. You're the odd man out.
I know.
Mike
I didn't get
sucks.
the message.
Do we think that Daniel Carlson could possibly move to punter?
Could Daniel Carl? No, not going to happen. I don't think so. Who's mumbling, Mike or me? Because I don't know if I'm a mumble or not. Am I mumbling at all?
Randy, you know.
What? Oh, he does. The punter.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got, Miles? This is a great night.
We've
Do you
lost
think-
like 70 viewers in the last 2 minutes. So
Do you think that our defense can stop the Mississippi
that's my
State
mustache.
ground game?
is that his lip?
Sorry, Mike was talking. What, Miles?
Do you think that our defense can stop Mississippi State's ground game?
Yes. I don't think State outside of Nick Fitzgerald, State's offense is pedestrian. I said it. Though Dan Mullen's a very good quarterbacks coach and a good play caller at times, but you stop Nick Fitzgerald.
What's going on with the South?
I don't understand.
Whatever. I think they're messing with us.
I think they
Captain Mumbles.
All right, listen.
My wife would agree with that.
Unless a lot of people start complaining about the audio, then you know.
Guy behind the wall.
So anyway,
Was there a guy back there?
wear the same glasses. Are you saying Mike and but they're
No, we do.
are those literally the same
Yours have gray on the bottom, but I think they're the same gray.
style?
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
They coordinate. They're going to start coordinating outfits now.
Mine are boy glasses, so
Yep.
that would.
How do you know I'm not coordinating already?
Yeah.
Well, you guys would match better.
Yep.
A text.
Oh, it's going to happen.
We have a text chain.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, are you wearing the glasses? I'm wearing the glasses. Let's make everybody freak out.
People are bored. Let's see.
So that's about good, huh?
See, the audio's been fine all night.
Audio stinks.
See, listen, people are messing with us. Do you understand how trolls work? You're like an old lady looking at it. They say that the thing in the world's going to end on September 23rd.
They get very.
That's how old women speak.
Hey, now. I'll be an old woman one day.
Yeah. Well, listen, speaking of which, I heard an interesting conversation at the airport this morning. It was so weird.
Sharing this on Facebook Live.
I shouldn't. Anyway.
All right, we got 219 viewers. Let's see how quickly it goes down.
Mike just wants to go home.
I got to write that.
Do we have any news?
What
I'm like trying to think.
Any news?
There's a really cute picture of Jarrett Stidham on our Instagram right now. So
He's a looker.
go check it out. It's getting a lot of likes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Auburn 24/7 Sports. That's us.
So what was your story about the airport? Let's share it.
I'm not sharing the airport
I thought
story.
you just said you were going to share it.
I was going to, but then I realized I was half asleep when I just said that. Now I'm awake.
What about Woody Barrett? How's he doing?
Stop it.
Do we have any intel on Woody Barrett? Go to the bot to get a message.
Brandon's top four. Top four what? Like donuts or top four like teams? I really have no idea. Oklahoma somewhere. Alabama is probably number one. I say okay. Oklahoma won, or no, I didn't even say that the first time. Alabama 1, Clemson 2, Oklahoma 3. I don't know. Vanderbilt 4.
You were pretty hard on Vanderbilt during the game.
Was I?
You were like Twitter beefing them.
All I said was Vanderbilt back, and then when Mississippi State was getting beat, Mississippi State back. Over under on the Mississippi State game or Ole Miss, which one you want to know? Getting choppy. I don't know. Auburn's going to beat Mississippi State, and if Auburn does not beat Mississippi State, here's what I'll promise you: Auburn will be 3-2. That's what my promise.
That's a promise.
That is a promise.
Everyone's really disappointed that you didn't tell your airport story.
Maybe. Hey, this will be a good tease. We could do it. You could do it on the podcast.
I'm not doing it on the
You could do it on the
podcast.
podcast. It'll be good.
It was bad.
It would be good.
Yeah,
I put my.
Gotta listen to the podcast.
I was listening to two people speak as they were eating their yogurt, and I put my headphones in. That's how bad it was. I did not want to hear that at 7 o'clock this morning in the airport.
I think that's good. We lost.
There's still 205 people. People are entertained. Are you guys not entertained? Come on. You guys entertained? Okay, all right. I'll tell part of the airport story. All right, here we go. All right, this is what the people come here for. Not Auburn scoop, airport scoop. All right, so I'm St. Louis International Airport, right? Sitting there in the terminal, waiting to board, and I got my computer out. I'm writing out some story. Jarrett Stidham throwing a lot of good passes. And two older ladies are sitting across from me, enjoying their yogurts, and they're speaking about how to stay healthy. And one of them mentioned how if you rub your stomach clockwise.
Oh, that's a thing.
Is it? I never heard that.
It helps.
Miles, explain.
It helps with your digestive system.
There you
So
go.
it like physically
Brandon's like,
moves
"Well, let me
everything
know."
in your stomach in the same direction.
Man, Maybe that's why dogs like getting rubbed on the stomach. But anyway, she also said though that if you rub it counterclockwise, that it'll make you worse.
Oh no. Which way do I go?
I guess.
Is that clockwise or counter?
I don't know. But if you go to Australia, that's the question. Is counterclockwise actually good? So anyway, all of you are gone now. Some of you wanted to hear the airport story. That's my airport story. You talk about your airplane story, Mike.
I thought it was like way more
I was out of the airport. I don't understand this. I've seen this is so in Clemson against Clemson. There was people in front. They have an open press box. And you're in front of the stands, and there were people. These students. It was the student section runs up to the thing, and these students were just making out the entire game. I don't understand why you go to a football game and make out. It's kind of gross. But on the plane ride, so Southwest, you pick your flights. You know, you pick your seats when you walk in. So I was sitting next to a couple. Seemed very, very nice couple. They were cuddling the entire time and kind of rubbing, and it's just like that's not. I don't know. In the morning, you don't really want to sit next to that.
7 a.m.
Yeah,
She's all snuggled.
yeah. So all snuggled up and couldn't see hands. So I mean, it was just kind of not for me. He's Brandon Marcelli.
No PDA here, guys.
I'm Mike Neislick. This was
In advance.
erased and not posted on Facebook.
Do they make y'all fly coach? Yeah. Yeah. Southwest even have first class? It's
They
just
have
a
business select, which I think
Just
is
show up.
bored early.
it's just a bus.
This is really just derailed.
This is the worst Facebook Live ever. Mark
That
Zuckerberg.
should be the title when you repost
Yeah.
it. When you
The
not
worst
post it.
people would. That's
People will read
clickbait
it.
right there. Yeah.
Clickbait.
The worst Facebook Live video ever. I might do that on YouTube. Any news on Darius Slayton? Hey, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I'm
Good to
sorry.
ask a coordinator.
That was one of my questions tonight. Was asked about Darius Slayton because something's up with him, and a lot of you keen-eyed observers last night were even tweeting a lot at me, and I'm sure others going, "Where's Darius Slayton? What's going on with Darius Slayton?" I believe he did. I might be mistaken. Pre-game was weird.
Well, and then
It was very hot, and my phone exploded. My phone got the temperature warning, and then I had to run upstairs.
and after the post game with Gus was really difficult because we were in a tent and they had fans running, so Gus could not hear the reporters, and the reporters couldn't hear Gus. And then the band, I'm not sure if it was the Auburn band, the Missouri band, started walking through and playing for about a good 2 minutes of the press conference, and we got like 8 minutes with them. So there weren't a lot of questions, and the questions we did ask, some of the answers lined up, some of them didn't. So you don't really know if he heard it or didn't. And I'm not joking. It was a bad.
I do like Mexican food.
It was a bad situation. So we didn't get to. I mean, it was really hard to talk to Gus, and because he was screaming, he was shouting his answers. He was having a hard time. Brandon was literally like this close to him, and he couldn't hear him, and had to repeat every question he asked. So it was rough. So a lot of the questions that you kind of want to ask or want to talk about, and he's pouring sweat because it's literally 115 degrees under this tent. So,
was so weird.
Pitch black. It was so we didn't get to ask a lot of Gus, and we were hoping to ask the coordinators today, and didn't get that opportunity.
Yes. This Facebook Live is #Ratchet.
That's true. That's true.
Is the offensive change here to stay? Good question. As long as Gus Malzahn does this and lets Miles call the plays, a.k.a. Chip Lindsey, then yes. As we've reported, Chip Lindsey has had full control of the offense the last 2 weeks. Let's see if Gus Malzahn can stay out of it when these big games start coming up on the schedule. But things are really starting to...
Jay Jacobs was at the game, and if everybody keeps posting that Jay Jacobs is fired every morning, somebody will get it right eventually, or maybe he'll just quit. But he's...
It reminds me of all the apocalypse predictions. Yes.
September 23rd.
It's happening then, and it's happening now, and one day I'll win the lottery. Listen. He's employed. He's the athletics director. Is Cam Martin going to play against Mississippi State? I would think so. And to be quite honest, Gus Malzahn did promise last week that Cam Martin would play more, and he did against Missouri. And he said he'd be. Well, that didn't really matter. And he said he'd be playing more and more as the season goes along. And I asked, you got confidence in him? He goes, we've had confidence in him. That was a bad Gus Malzahn impression. But at least it wasn't an airport story. Any other last things, Miles?
Last things. Oh, what do you think about the softball hires? A little off topic, but
What do you think?
comment?
I got nothing. You were at the press conference.
Good hire for the position they're in right now. So James Madison's head coach, really big on pitching there. They beat Auburn in a midweek game. He's a good coach based off everything, and he's hired some veteran assistant coaches that have coached in the SEC, which will help him. But, I mean, who knows? He's got a lot of talent coming back here at Auburn, so yeah, they should have a good season coming up. But, listen, I think it's a good hire considering the circumstances. And if you're wondering, I think I saw someone on there about, why didn't they hire a woman? Sorry, guys, my brain is fried. A woman to be the head coach of the softball program. Based off what I heard, the softball players communicated that they did not want a woman as the head coach. So I don't know why, but that's just what I was told. Not like the players have the be-all, end-all, decision, but, I mean, certainly, ADs will go in and talk to players like, hey, this is what we're doing, and you have any questions or suggestions for us? And that was one thing that I was told was brought up by the players. So,
Alrighty.
clockwise, not counterclockwise.
Clockwise, not counterclockwise, guys.
Here.
Okay. Well, we will see you on Tuesday, right? Or maybe Tuesday?
Maybe if Gus decides to talk.
Maybe.
I don't know.
No guarantees. We were told something tonight, and it happens. So
We don't know. Maybe Gus on Tuesday. Tuesday's my birthday.
Oh,
happy
is
birthday.
it?
Yeah.
Really happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Fun fact. Okay, well, we'll see you on Tuesday, hopefully with someone of relevance.
More football information.
Yes, with more football information. But in the meantime, check it out at auburnundercover.com.
Worst Facebook Live ever.
Yeah.
Rick, Miles, Brad, and Marcelli.
Marcello right there. Bye, guys.